Amp Media Production presents Gypsy Soul, your one-stop shop for letting out your inner gypsy. Join Denise Marsh as she brings on a variety of guests to share their artistic vision with the world.
Well, hello everyone, and welcome back to another exciting episode of Gypsy Soul. Happy belated Valentine's Day, everyone. I'm wondering if you did anything fun or exciting, something with a loved one, something by yourself. I went to a Valentine's Day dance and I met some new people. I got to dance, so I was in my happy place, and it was a very good Valentine's Day. It would have been better if I didn't have to go to work the next day, but it was still good. So I thought today, since we're still in the month of love, I could read you some more poetry from my book, Emotional Morse Code, Poems from Heartbreak to Healing, by Denise Marsh, that's me. And today, instead of reading the happy loved ones, I want to read you ones that are more deep, more vulnerable, and have stronger feelings. So the first one that I'm going to read to you is called Raw. And it's from a section in my book called In the Pause. The wound never healed, and yet I chose to uncover it. Exposed it to the harshness of life, where recovery would be stunted and vulnerability glorified. My mistake highlighted for all, realizing that skin could not shed so quickly, and renewal was not always promised. I hope you like that one. And I have another one for you, and it's called One, but One, O-N-E. And it's in the honeymoon stage. There is no space, there is no distance. There is only a heartbeat, strong, accepting, patient, and I wrap my arms tightly around the space that is only ours. And I did tell you guys that a lot of these are autobiographical, and that people might be listening that the poems were about them, but that's okay. We already went into that. So that would be an interesting thing if one of the people that I wrote about actually called in the show. It hasn't happened yet, but it could happen. And then the last poem that I have for you is called Days in the Days, but it's D-A-Z-E in the Days, D-A-Y-S. And it's from a section called Realizations and Affirmations. Days in the Days. The days are fine, busy frenzy, paperwork fountains, wordplay and word say, minutes, hours, seconds, placating my heart, seizing the memories. All is forgiven and forgotten. The moon takes its place, somber, wishful, disillusioned, reminding us that tears need a place to fall. Now, if you love those poems and you want to hear more, you can purchase the book on Amazon. It's available. It's available at this studio as well. You can get it for someone as a gift, or you can get it for yourself as a gift. There's a lot of good stuff in here, people. A lot of good poetry. So while we're on the subject of vulnerability and strong feelings, and even recycling, putting things back and forth together, I have an amazing guest today, and he was actually referred to by a friend. And his name is Hollander. He's a Nuvo tribal artist. And he has a very, very specific type of art that uses recycled materials and actually brings things together, just like my poetry brings things together. So after a short commercial break, you will get to meet Hollander, and you will be wowed beyond belief when you see what he has to show you. So hang tight, don't go anywhere, and we'll be back in a few minutes after commercial break. See you in a few minutes.
Hey there, have you heard of the new show Gypsy Soul? It's hosted by the one and only Denise Marsh. Listen in as she helps you release your inner gypsy with the best in South Florida, with plenty of special guests, with their own talents to inspire your inner gypsy. Tune in every other Thursday on your preferred streaming platform.
And we're back again with Gypsy Soul, and I'm your host, Denise Marsh. And this is the one and only Hank Hollander. And when you hear Hank talk, he's going to sound a lot like me because we're both from the same place. So, I'm from Brooklyn, and Hank is from
Sheepshead
Bay, Brooklyn. So our accents are in perfect sync right now. I'm in my happy place, so you're going to hear the Brooklyn come all the way out from here to Brooklyn. So Hank, I'm so happy that you're here today.
I'm happy to be here.
And you are described as a Nuvo tribal artist, correct?
Correct.
Can you explain what that means more in depth, please?
Well, the work represents traditional tribal art, but it has a new flair to it, and it's also functional. So these are like faces that hang on a wall, and they're decorative, but also they have a hidden compartment. So if you need to put away your passport, jewelry, or stash, or whatever, it has a duality of purpose. And I use found materials, and some are bought, some are gathered by dumpster diving, and I try to put together and make a original artistic composition.
You said dumpster diving, right?
Dumpster diving.
Yeah, I know, I caught that. I want to make sure that I heard you correctly.
You're right.
Yeah. Do you do the dumpster diving yourself?
Of course I do. I can't hire anybody and who wants to go into a dumpster?
I had to get that in there. So where did you get your inspiration for your type of art?
I don't know. I just maybe came naturally, and I've been doing this this is a new direction. I do other things also within the same vein, and but this is the new thing that I'm on to right now.
When you said in the same vein, what were the other things?
Well, I work with doing like a functional lighting kind of situation, where I use marbles and translucent lights and
illumination.
Yeah, illumination, agate, and pieces like that, and I make something like a very fancy Tiffany lamp. And
those are my favorite.
Yeah, and but this is something I've moved on to right now, and I'm kind of enjoying it, and you know.
Maybe we'll have you come back for a later show.
That would be fine.
To show some illumination.
That would be great.
I love Tiffany glass.
Right.
And I used to have a lamp,
Right.
and I think the audience would be pretty excited about that another time. So, when did you first know that you were an artist? Like, were you little? Were you older? Was it
Well,
middle age?
actually, it came when I was very late in life, at 40 years old. I was always interested in architecture and shows like that, but I never was able to draw. And I figured, I can't be an artist, but you have, in the outsider movement, which this is somewhat based on, you have that ability or a need to create. And so it just started exploding, and I went from one thing to another thing.
And when you started doing it, were you doing it on your own? Did you have assistants?
No, I was always by myself, always doing it by myself. I have a background in the construction trades, and I was looking at Japanese lighting because the way the Japanese filter the light through these screens, and it gives them a very warm, really great feeling, not the ostentatious and vulgar Eastern type of lighting that's done with the fluorescence or whatever. And then I moved on to what I'm doing right now.
So it was more like harmonizing.
Yeah, it's one thing went to another thing, and this is the interest I have exactly right now, is doing this.
I'm trying to hold back my excitement because there's so much great stuff to show here. So,
Okay,
but I
well,
want to go into it.
And do it.
So your art deals with something called the outsider world of art.
Right, it's the outsider movement. It's 20 years old. It's people that are untrained like myself, but have this intense emotional need to create art, to keep their spiritual existence going.
And who do you think the art would appeal to most?
I think it would appeal to everybody, and it would appeal to people that are not naturally trained or schooled within knowing about, regular art. So people just seem to like it, and there's no training or need to know or have knowledge about art.
So no one has to feel insecure if they don't understand what it means.
No, exactly. That's it. They just like it, and
it's not like a Picasso. Where
not
we have
like
to
a Picasso or a Rembrandt or understanding Renaissance or whatever. That's why I like tribal, because it's just, it's from the indigenous culture, and there's no patrons that are paying them to create the art or whatever. It's just part of their existence and part of the tribal aspect of life.
And before we continue and we actually showcase your art for everyone to see, I wanted to show them the sign, right? Because it's called, the title of this is called Funny Faces.
With hidden spaces.
Right. And I would love to be able to show it now. I don't know if we need to zoom in, or did you want to point to specific pieces to talk about?
This one is, you might get a good laugh out of, because for the mouth, I used a harmonica.
You get music, folks.
And you know, a lot of it is found materials. A lot of it is tribal carvings that I bought and here and there or found, and I put it all together. A lot of shells, marbles, action sequence cards, and this right here is a piece of piping, plumbing, and that's a computer. These are electric gears and stuff like that, and mahjong pieces.
Tell them about that.
Oh, and the beads, we try to match the beads to the piece, and if you'll notice, the beads, a lot of them are all tribal looking type of beads, and I try to match them with the pieces that I've built. Now, we also have these little guys here, you know, and they open up, and that one over there also.
Can they see? I don't know if they can see that there's a nose here. Can
Yes.
you zoom in so that they could actually see that this is a face?
Right.
That this is a hidden face. It's really out of this world. It's really amazing.
Some of my eyes are from casino chips.
I just noticed
Yes,
that.
right.
Is that from Vegas?
Right. So if anyone's going to buy a piece, I'm going to have to tell you the value is not there anymore.
They're not winning chips?
They're not winning chip. It may be
wow.
$5,000 a chip, but it's now as functioning from one of my eyes.
But are they good luck if we bring them?
Of course, they're good luck.
Have to remember that next time in Vegas.
These pieces right here, these are napkin holders.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, and right there, I used a watch for the mouth.
What is this one? What is that?
That's an African piece, an African carving tourist piece, and I recoated it and colored it to blend in. And these pieces are from China. Those are almost like net skis. They're carved bone, and they're shaped to fit the mouth and put together.
And there's two heads on that one,
Yes,
right?
there's
It
two
looks
heads
like
on that one. That
can
is
we
correct.
zoom in on that? That's really, that's very eccentric, that one.
Yes.
Is the person that's in there praying, or? are
I
they
really
just-
don't know.
Oh, that's a
And
great
of course, the
conversation.
beads on this one are, you know, if you'll notice the coloration and the intensity and everything, they really match the piece. And that's what I do. I spend a lot of time trying to match the beads with the piece.
So, Hank,
Yes.
because I see this, and you know, one of my producers Dawn was talking about earlier how it could be like a handbag because, you know, it's functional and,
right.
you know, it's beautiful at the same time. So is this how it hangs?
Yes, it hangs.
Hang on?
It hangs. You put a plug and a screw in there, and they hang. And what's good is they'll hang flat on the wall and even. And you want to put your passport in it, your wallet, your keys, or extra something or other, and you just take it off the wall, open it up, and you know exactly where it's going to be.
And hidden function.
Yeah,
Think about this.
It's functional sculpture.
It's functional, but if you need to hide things
Right.
from someone that might be coming into the house,
Exactly
like a
right.
robber or someone you don't want to touch
They will
your
not.
stuff,
They will
put
not
it
look.
inside
They
the
will not
boxes.
say. They will not look at that and say, "Wow, maybe
They
there's
will
something."
never
ins-"
know.
They
Better
will
than
not-
a cereal box.
Right.
And I don't know if you can see this one. Is that Disney on
Yes.
there?
Yeah. These are.
You would never expect
These
that.
are like
This is the
decals or
unanticipated.
whatever, where I form a camouflage pattern, and then they get several coats of lacquer.
This is great for Florida, the Disney thing. Did you create all of this in Florida? Or
Yes.
some
No.
of it
This
was in
this
New York?
work this work is within the last year or so.
Okay.
And it's, you know, like I said, it's materials I find, I buy, I put together, I have in storage.
What's your favorite one?
They're all my favorite ones.
Okay, so if someone said, to you, what's the one that's most special to you because there's a big
well, it's
story
always
behind it?
usually, you know, when you ask someone about the last movie or whatever, they always go the last one that they did, which would
was-
be this one. Because
Oh,
this,
with the red.
the marbleized pattern on here is like the first time I've experimented with that background. And I kind of really like it. These backgrounds are from action cards, foil action cards, but now I'm moving in the direction, as you can see, of these camouflage patterns that I'm just cutting up from certain things that I find and moving away from the action cards, so to speak.
And why the eyes, you know, the colors that you pick for the eyes and
Right.
the materials, is there special symbolism?
Not really. What I just want them to, sometimes I want them to really be shown. That's why you work with red a lot.
Yeah.
But sometimes I want to keep them as tribal and natural as possible, like this particular one right here.
It's very pearlized.
Yeah.
I really like that. I like the way
Right.
the shell's going.
And
with that
sometimes
one.
I try to match them with the background. I have a box of eyes, and so sometimes I'll just fool around and looking to see which one works with which sculpture or whatever.
And it makes the perfect face. When you work on your art, do you do one at a time singly, or do you start one and then you come back?
Well, I do start and then I change and I come back. But sometimes I'll build one from start to finish and I won't stop. I'll go right through the night, 20 hours at a time sometimes to do, if I'm really excited about the piece and I have a certain vision that I want to be able to like finish with. But yes, I do come back and touch something up or change something, and which most artists do.
Yes, they do, absolutely. I mean, it's just exquisite. I'm never speechless, and I'm looking at it and I'm just speechless. This is an amazing array right here. Where can people see more of your art?
Right now, this station. That's about it. But
Because you have to get on the computer, right?
Well, there is a show happening, the All People's Day show, and it's March the 30th, and it's free food and entertainment and dances.
We have a clip on that too.
And it's at Pompano Park, and it's Saturday from 11 a.m. to 3 p.m. There's 50 booths and raffles, and it's good. It's all free, lots of kids, it's multicultural, and it's a really good event to take the whole family to.
We have a clip on it, I believe. We have a picture of what it looks like. It's a two-sided picture to show it. And it's a kid-friendly event as well,
Yes, it's
correct?
a kid-friendly event, and international dancers and food. And
you'll be there.
And
You'll
I
be
will
there with your
definitely be
cigar
there.
boxes.
I will.
And you'll be there with your displays.
Right.
And is there a price range?
No, on these pieces?
Yes.
Yes, these pieces, depending on the work and the time or whatever, they start.
There it is, right there.
Yeah, they start at $200.
Okay.
They start at $200.
Any negotiating? You're from Brooklyn.
Yeah, there's everything is negotiable.
Okay.
You know.
Good to know. All right, so some bargaining can be involved.
Right.
All right. And if someone wants it, do they get it on the spot, or you deliver it to them, or they can just pick it out and just get it?
This remains to be seen right now. If they call me, I could talk with them over the phone, and they could come by to my house and take a look and see what's available.
Okay. But you wouldn't be able to just sell one of these to anyone, right?
I can sell anything right now, immediately, if you wish to do
Okay.
so.
Okay. My favorite, there's so many. I love this one. I love this one so much. It reminds me of something from Thailand. I don't know why. I have a cousin that lives in Thailand. It reminds me of something very Thai. I can't think of why. And I love all of them. I love this one. It looks like praying hands. So I think this one and this one are definitely my favorite. And I'd probably put my jewelry in them.
Well, that's a good way to put you, because
I would
it'll be
or-
safe when they break in. They'll look at that thing on the wall and they go.
Or maybe my books. I might put books in them. I have small enough books that they would fit.
Whatever would fit in.
Yeah.
You know.
They're eccentric, they're beautiful, they're very intricate, and they all tell a story.
And they're all functional.
And they're all functional, and they're actually very cathartic looking. Like, you could actually feel calm looking at some of them make you feel more of, a little bit tense, some of them.
That's what sculpture should
Yes.
be about, a feeling of warmth and security and just peace of mind.
We'll have to put poems around them.
Okay, that sounds good.
So we can do a duo kind of thing. So if people want to see more of you, since you are getting, and you're not with the computer yet, but you're getting involved with the computer,
Right.
we could say that, right?
Yes, of course.
Your information
Well, they have my phone
is
number
your phone.
there.
Okay, your phone
And they
number.
can call me anytime, day or night.
And your work is your work displayed anywhere at the
Well,
moment?
right now, my residence is the place of work, and there's a lot of work to be shown, of this nature. And I have other work that's also available.
Okay. Did you want to tell us a little bit more about the other work?
Maybe at another time, I think it
Okay.
would be good.
Yes.
Let's just stick with what we have right now
Yes.
because the other work is very involved and it's of a different nature.
So, if people come to All People's Day, which they probably will at this moment right here, where will you be?
I will be a booth there, and there will be 50 booths, which is not a lot. You'll be able to see my work on a table, and I do other things besides this. You know, small little tin boxes, and I do some of these that are flat without the faces on them, but interesting pictures and cards, and those will be within a less expensive kind of a situation. So if you come to the All People's Day, you'll be able to buy something, you know, for everybody.
Will there be any specials?
What do you mean by that?
Will you be offering, like, if you buy one, then the other one is half off, or will you?
Well,
You haven't thought about it yet?
Everything is negotiable.
Oh, okay. Good to know. And Hank, if you wanted to give the audience some more words on outside art for someone that's not used to it, what could you tell them?
Well,
that they'd
it's basically
experience?
work that's out of the mainstream, and usually it's self-taught people, and they have this intense emotional need to create. And there have been shows that have been going on for years, especially in New York City, on what's called the outsider art movement. And a lot of it is very different from most of the mainstream artists.
And do you ever mentor other people that are
No,
looking to do it?
I don't feel
Work
qualified
on
in
your
any
own,
sense.
yeah.
You know, I have my own situation, and although if I have friends that are also craftspeople and stuff, so we'll give each other advice and stuff like that. But no one's doing what I'm doing. It's completely, you know, and I'm not.
So no competition.
There is no
See,
competition.
that's nice, because art always has competition.
No, there's no.
You're in a class by yourself.
At this point, there is no competition. You know.
But if someone wanted to get involved with this, what would you say to them?
I would help them and tell them exactly. I said, go to your neighborhood cigar box shop and
Go in your dumpster?
or the dumpster, and get some of these cigar boxes. And I would tell them how to do it. You know, get some interesting beads, do a nose, an eye, or whatever. And
Do you use special glue? Do you use
yes, I
glue
use
gun
different
on
types
them?
of glues. I use a 2-part clear epoxy. I use, I'm working with a very good DuraClear lacquer, which is, it's polyurethane, but it's not oil-based. It doesn't smell, it's environmentally good. It cleans up 1, 2, 3, and it also doesn't yellow.
Oh, perfect.
And what I like is it doesn't give a high gloss. It gives a very flat satin sheen to the work.
Yes, there's nothing detracting from any
Right,
of
right.
the cigar
In other words, the
boxes.
backgrounds are okay and they match, but they should not take from the other work, you know, in itself. So we don't want to glare or whatever. We just want a protective, clear sealing process.
So, Hank, I just wanted to remind everyone that they could see more of your work,
Right.
right? At All People's Day, which
Right.
is, again, debuting on
March
March
the
30th.
30th.
Right?
At-
What time does it start?
It starts at 11 a.m. It's at Pompano Park.
To 3 p.m.
Right.
Is it a free event?
It's a free event, and there's going to be free food there,
Free food.
and raffles and dancers.
Kid
and
friendly?
things. It's kid
You said
friendly.
dancers? I might
Yes,
have to come.
dancers, and it's going to be kid friendly, and just bring your family for a day out, enjoying some cultural, multicultural events.
And if you come out, you need to say, I saw you on Gypsy Soul, and you might get a little discount.
That is correct.
So, Hank, I'm so happy that you came today. I'm elated.
Well,
Not
so
even
am I.
happy, because I got to experience something that I have not seen in my lifetime yet. And I might be purchasing one of these in the future. So I'm so happy that my friend Rochelle introduced you to me, and that I got to meet you and see your amazing stuff. And I know that our audience might be coming to All People's Day or purchasing it some other way. But I just wanted to thank you again. I have a feeling that you'll be back on the show again, maybe showing some of the illuminations.
Oh yeah, well,
Yeah,
definitely
we'll just
anytime,
hint at
and
it.
I want to thank you so much for the opportunity to, show and display my work, and move on with functional art and Nuvo tribal.
Yes.
You
So
know.
you heard it here. Hank Hollander, Nuvo Tribal Art. Come see him on All People's Day I love you guys. I thank you for being part of my audience. I wanted to, again, remind you to get the book if you haven't got the book already. And enjoy the rest of February. It is flying, people. Remember to let your gypsy soul free. Let him or her thrive. Don't just survive, thrive. Be good to yourself. We have to be good to ourselves all the time, because if we're not, who else will be? I will see you again on the 29th for a special episode of Gypsy Soul. I love you guys, and stick with your Gypsy Soul. Have a good night. Bye.
Thank you for tuning in to Gypsy Soul. Make sure to stop by next time for another enlightening show. A show that was produced by Ant Media Productions and hosted by Denise Marsh.